Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today is another video actually in a different jet this time because I'm actually taking my dog to Spain. So I'm going to be spending the next few weeks in sunny Spain, which I'm excited on. So in this video we're going to cover off the 4 levels of learning to become a millionaire. And there's 4 different stages to this, and the first one's called unconscious incompetence. This is the famous quote when you say you don't know what you don't know. When I first started in business, there was a lot of things I just didn't even know that I needed to know when I look back on. And then you realize that sometimes at that stage, you need a mentor and a guide to help you. So at this stage, this is when you're like really unaware of what you lack, and you may believe you are doing things correctly or assume that like success is based on luck or external circumstances. But the key at this stage is exposure. So you need to be introduced to new concepts, knowledge, and skills. So this is probably most of you listen to this on at this stage. This is the typical person that is really unconscious in life, in a 9-to-5 job, in the matrix, and they don't even know that they're just walking through life like zombies, not conscious at all. And if you're in that stage, then obviously what you need to do is really seek mentorship and guidance from people that are ahead of you. So starting off reading books, attending seminars, investing and learning in yourself, all of these things, and asking yourself, like, what do I not know that could be holding me back? So actually just recognizing the fact that you need to know something is stage 2, which is called conscious incompetence. So that's you become aware of what you lack. That's when you recognize there is a skills gap, there's a knowledge gap, and your abilities that you just do not have now that you need to learn. So this is obviously an uncomfortable stage because it forces you to face like the gap that you have in your expertise in life and business. But this stage is good because at least you're aware, and it's powerful because it's set up for growth. So we're all been through that stage in different stages in business. If you're on this stage, that's when you're going to be needing to identify like what your weaknesses are and the gaps of knowledge that you need to acquire in order to get success. So actually creating a learning plan, actionable steps, and then start taking action. So even if you're uncomfortable and unskilled, the best way to learn is just from taking action. So it's not just by the reading and implementing, it's going to be actually doing it every single day. When you observe successful people, analyze what they do differently. So those like little things that they're doing in their life, whether it's their habits, how they speak, who they hang around with, and really their working environment as well, because a lot of successful people work long hours. So you adapting that is probably going to be key as well. And then you've got conscious competence. So this is what we call level 3. So I would say most people that are millionaires or 7-figure entrepreneurs, they are at this stage where you can do it with effort and focus. So at this sort of level, you've developed like the knowledge and the skills, but you still require that conscious every single day effort to make sure you can perform certain tasks in your business. It takes concentration, practice, repetition, and it's all about consistency at this stage. So this is where you're practicing regularly, like in terms of whether it's hiring and firing employees, building a team culture, expanding your business. You still need to seek feedback and adjust. So you're still making mistakes, but you stay more disciplined. So obviously using things like visualization and rehearsing different things that are going to help you get to 8 figures is probably going to be key. But having conscious competence is a stage where you're on the right track now. So you've had mentors, you've learned from them, you've implemented, and you've got some level of success. And then I would say like level 4 is really once you get to 8 figures in a business and then on the way to 9 in the niche and specialism that you do. So not if you're just going into something new, but if you've got success in an area that you've been in a field for a long time, you've passed the 10,000 hour rule, that's what we call unconscious competence. So that's where it just becomes second nature. So it's effortless mastery. And at this final stage, this is like the skill and knowledge that is fully integrated into your subconscious mind, as it were. So a bit like when you're driving a car and you're taking a route, but you drive there unconsciously, like you're not even aware of how you got there because it's just second nature to you. So it's what we call an automatic expertise. So this is where everything is like fluid and it's very intuitive. So with that stage, all you're doing is refining and improving all of the time. You're looking for the marginal gains, that little 1% difference, and then that's when you teach others. So obviously when I've learned that skill of scaling my agency and many others, I taught others, and explaining concepts and actually understanding mental models and systems helped me even go further in my businesses when I was teaching others and iterating what works and what didn't work for them. So that made me expand my knowledge and then expand my mastery, basically. So that brought my self-awareness really sharp, and it avoids complacency. So it's a hard thing actually mentoring other people as well, getting success. So it's one thing being successful like as a millionaire, multi-millionaire, but actually creating other 6 or 7 figure entrepreneurs and helping them succeed as well. That really requires level 4 of unconscious competence in the skill set that you're teaching. So those are like the 4 levels of learning. And that brings me on to say that I've just launched our brand new AI talent partner program for recruitment agency owners that really want to specialize in building an AI system for their end user clients. So I've noticed over the last few months in particular, AI has just really compounded in its growth, and there's so much that can be done and optimized in the recruitment industry in particular. So I've spent a lot of money and time with a lot of experts in-house in my agency Blueprint, and what we've managed to build is like what we call like an AI recruitment system that you can plug and play into your end user client and actually charge them an install fee and then a monthly retainer to keep that maintained. And I think there's a big shift in 2025 to do this, and those recruitment agencies that are going to adapt into this model are going to win, because you don't have to actually make the placement anymore. So as a headhunter in recruitment, you don't actually have to find the candidate anymore and get them over the line and do sales on both sides. All you need to do now is find clients that are willing to invest in AI. And here's a trend for you. 50% of businesses are going to be lowering their budget for hiring this year in the UK and some of US, but 75% of all businesses have a new budget to spend on AI, but they don't know where to spend it. If you're in a recruitment market where you've got a client that is normally hiring 10, 20, 50 members of staff in 2025, you can bring them a new solution that's going to lower their recruitment costs and not have to pay agency fees anymore, and then not have to have a big internal team, because you can leverage AI. So we glue it all together with a tool called Clay AI. This is really crushing it. So over the last few weeks, we've brought on 50 what we call founding members of agency owners that have came into the program, and they're already winning big retainers. Some of them 100K, some of them 500K, where a company's spending $500,000 a year on their recruitment costs, and how they can go in and pitch it maybe 200, 300K, leveraging AI in the systems and actually learning the skill set of AI for recruitment systems, which is really bespoke and really niche. And there's a fantastic opportunity there. So somewhere in this link in this description, I'll be doing another webinar next week, and then there'll be a website if you're interested to book a call in with one of our team members on exactly how we can map this out for you. Then make sure you click on the link. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's still a little bit sunny outside, as you could see, I think. The sun's just setting in here before I head off to Marbella. I spent a little bit of time in Dublin, which was nice actually. It was quite cold and a different feeling from being in sunny Dubai all of the time. But now I'm going to be spending some time in Europe before I actually plan to head back to the UK in London after that. Yeah, and it's been a nice experience. Obviously flying a private jet again has been a nice experience, but it makes you realize how far you've come in business, because obviously it wasn't always this way. I could almost balk at the fee of paying like $18,000 to fly on a private jet for 3 hours. And one thing you realize is when your time per hour as an entrepreneur goes up and up as you get more successful and you make more money, then you realize that buying time back is really important as well. So my other alternative to take my dog, for example, would have been driving like 23 hours, staying over in 3 hotels across Europe. Don't get me wrong, it would have been maybe a nice journey, but this is 3 hours, and I know I could get more leverage in my business when I'm back fresh tomorrow to make more money with that way. And that brings me on to, again, like most entrepreneurs, if you're watching this video, you should all be able to leverage your time back, and the first thing that you should do in your business is hire a remote assistant. So one of my companies, remoteassistants.ai, solely specializes in offshore talent, particularly in South Africa, where we train them up for you, whether it's in social media, marketing, B2B outreach, or your personal assistant, executive assistant. And for as little as around about $1,200 to $1,500 a month, you have someone full time. And that can buy your time back from these $50, $100, $200 an hour tasks that I know most of you are all still doing. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure you check out that link as well, because for 2025, you want to make sure you're scaling and buying back time. And then maybe one day you'll be getting the luxury of flying private because your time per hour is high, that it's actually worthwhile and it's justifiable. I'll leave it there. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video, and I'll catch you soon.